You hear about the Boeing whistleblower who supposedly offed himself. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. I was going to bring that up. I saw some of the Cliff Notes, Korag, but I haven't looked into it. There's been so much in the Minecraft community, so I've only seen like bits and pieces of all of it. There's resub Toes and the tier 1 Real Motion and the resub Yoya. And the membership Yori. Top 3 most recommended anime? Like, the top 3 I would recommend, or in general, the ones that everyone recommends? Because for me, I'd say, like, Jujutsu Kaisen, Death Note, Code Geass. I think all 3 of those are really accessible. Thanks for the 5 gift sub, Toes. Appreciate it. And the resub Hikaru. I have not seen the speedrun yet, WXYZ. I know you told me about it, though. And hey, Arrow. Thanks to resub. Lafayette and Manager Sean. Hope you have a good night, Liar. That's sweet. Thanks, Chaos. And no, I haven't heard the new Judas Priest. Have you heard about the Rusty Cage stuff with his last live stream and possibly decapitating himself? Yeah, I'm very, very, very confident he didn't do that. I'm very confident that he is alive and well. There's a comment posted on that video that I think is probably accurate, where it's symbolic of him killing the Rusty Cage character to move on to another project. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, Ant. I have no good advice for you at all. I'm just wishing the best for you and your family. Stay strong. That's terrible. What are we talking about? Here. What he was referencing is the Rusty Cage stream from last night. At the very end, he like steps off camera and there's like a skull on the table, and then you can like hear him drop the guillotine and some noise. And people think that he actually decapitated himself there. But I think there's a 0% chance of that. Hopefully, that's not what happened. What do you mean, beep? And thanks for the tier 2 gift sub, Toes. Hey, congrats on the first house, Trav. That's awesome. You were actually really close to finding a level skip when you last played it. Really? I thought I was. I knew I was on the cusp, but I couldn't quite figure out where to go. Thanks to resub play. Have I heard of Pat Tomlinson? The self-doxer who's suing Milwaukee, the city. Huh? I streamed early yesterday. I started streaming at like 5 p.m. EST. It's all over the place. I don't have a schedule. Thanks, resub Brandon. I haven't really looked into exactly how the whistleblower passed away here, allegedly unaliving himself, but with everything that's been going on in the aviation industry, to me, from like the little bits I've read, it sounds more like an assassination. This is scary shit, man. I'm telling you, planes are the devil. I've been saying it since I was a child, and you called me crazy. Thanks, resub Stoner, the membership Wander. And no, I have not. Tin Finger, I don't know who that is. Oh, wait, yes, I have. That's Joe Rogan guest. And yeah, of course, I know the Stalker games. John Barnett, who had worked for Boeing for 32 years until his retirement in 2017, in the days before his death, he had been giving evidence in a whistleblower lawsuit against the company. Boeing said it was saddened to hear of Mr. Barnett's passing. The Charleston County coroner confirmed his death to the BBC on Monday. It said the 62-year-old had died from a self-inflicted wound on March 9th, and police were investigating. Mr. Barnett had worked for the U.S. plane giant for 32 years. From 2010, he worked as a quality manager. In 2019, Mr. Barnett told the BBC that under-pressure workers had been deliberately fitting substandard parts to aircraft on the production line. He also said he had uncovered serious problems with oxygen systems, which could mean 1 in 4 breathing masks would not work in an emergency. He said soon after starting work in South Carolina, he had become concerned that the push to get new aircraft built meant the assembly process was rushed and safety was compromised, something the company denied. Later told BBC that workers had failed to follow procedures intended to track components throughout the factory, allowing defective components to go missing. He said in some cases, substandard parts had even been removed from scrap bins and fitted to planes that were being built to prevent delays on the production line. And he also claimed that tests on emergency oxygen systems due to be fitted to the 787 showed a failure rate of 25%, meaning that 1 in 4 could fail. So he was exposing a lot, clearly, and now he is dead. Seems fishy. Seems very fishy. He's the Prime Kings and couldn't pick a name. Thanks, resub Sebi. Enjoy Monster Hunter, Calvin. At the time of his death, Mr. Barnett had been in Charleston for legal interviews linked to that case. Last week, he gave a formal deposition in which he was questioned by Boeing's lawyers before being cross-examined by his own counsel. He had been due to undergo further questioning on Saturday. When he did not appear, inquiries were made at his hotel. He was subsequently found dead in his truck in the hotel car park. Speaking to BBC, his lawyers described his death as tragic. In a statement, Boeing said, "We are saddened by Mr. Barnett's passing and our thoughts are with his family and friends. His death comes at a time when production standards at both Boeing and its key supplier, Spirit Aerosystems, are under intense scrutiny. This follows an incident in early January when an unused emergency exit door blew off a brand new Boeing 737 MAX shortly after takeoff from Portland." What interesting timing for him to kill himself. Surely a coincidence. Thanks, resub Craxon. Yeah, he was a Boeing whistleblower, actively engaged in a lawsuit against Boeing. Same guy who got Epstein. Yeah, maybe they just used the same person. It's just one guy. Let's do some motion. Happy birthday, Tim. In Nylock. Thanks for membership. Asanma? Yeah, I saw Alucard. Thanks for resub Gunny. The planes are starting to fall apart. And Mr. Barnett was trying to expose the truth. Boeing took him out. I think that's what happened here. I'm going to give sub Anastasia. Yeah, we're going to do Siege later tonight. Thanks for membership, Fireground. And not yet Fireground. Usually on Sunday. Thanks, Bowden. No, I didn't see that episode on Boeing. And yeah, I did see that one, Dub. Well, rather, I saw it being covered. Oh, is that about the cannibal thing? I saw the headlines for the cannibal. I haven't read about it or anything. And yeah, I heard about the body being driven to the bank to take money out. Thanks, membership prodigy. I'm really confused. If the planes are falling apart and they were going to be exposed, is it deliberate? Well, yeah, I think so. Most people would read this and conclude that this was likely a murder. He was engaged in a very important lawsuit with Boeing. And now, obviously, it can't finish because he's dead. And yeah, I'm getting bits and pieces of it, Cake. It's just a lot. Government cover-up tier list win. Not a bad idea. What does Boeing gain from having their planes falling apart? Well, they don't gain anything from that. What they gain is by saving money on the construction as well as meeting strict deadlines for the production line, which is something Barnett was mentioning a couple times throughout this. So like in an effort to be like quick, meet those deadlines on the assembly line, they would use substandard parts, which is why shit keeps falling apart. They don't necessarily gain from having their planes fucking combust in the air, but it is good for business if they're saving money and meeting these strict timetables. I missed that one, Urban. That's cute, though. And that is sad, Lucas. Temu parts? It actually sounds like worse than Temu parts. Like here it says they were going into the bin from scrap bins and fitting them to the planes. You'd be better off buying from Temu. And have not done that, Vincenzo. Thanks for your run. Corner cutting everywhere with manufacturing, maintenance, and pilot training. Pilot training's a big one, too. We went over this a few times, but you remember when those, like, what was it, 787 Maxes or 737 Maxes? I don't remember. But, like, that new model that kept falling out of the sky and fucking blowing up. That was because they changed something and never educated the pilots on it. So what would happen is, like, the system would put it into a fucking nosedive. And they couldn't correct it. Thanks a Prime Rose. Once they went from engineering leadership to business leadership, it all went to shit. Well, that's the way of things, unfortunately. That was called the MCAS system. Yep, that's the one. Or, no, wasn't it MCAT? Or am I misremembering? How about, let's just look it up. MKAS. You were right. Hey, congrats on the 14-year anniversary meditation. Hope the channel's going well. I'm surely supposed to be on a site working for Boeing. They're building a bunch of new hangars in Florida. It's another place to halfway assemble planes. Cool. Have fun. Yeah, a few of them, Jake. And we've gone back to some of the older ones, like the pizza one. You should check out Suno AI. It's so crazy, the quality of the songs it makes. That's the second time I've heard about that. What are we playing tonight? Siege. Later. And no, I have not, Vestrix. I haven't looked into all of it yet. There's been so much going on in the Minecraft community, it's been hard to keep up with all of it. But I will be checking in on all of it and trying to get all the info. Charlie, you're not getting approved by that guy because esports aren't an Olympic sport. Surprised you didn't make that connection. I know you're joking about the immigration, but I actually got a lot of really good info today about why we've been getting declined. Thanks to Tier 1 LMAO. And one of the things might legitimately be the name of our org, MoistEsports. Unironically. Like I said it as a joke in the video, but today we talked to Matt talked to a really knowledgeable person who also is a specialist when it comes to immigration stuff. And he said that might actually be a real reason, is because of the name. Which is tragic. Absolutely fucking tragic. You hear about the girl who went on a reality show to find her mom, who abandoned her, but discovered she married her brother by accident? What a fucking storyline that is. Nope. News to me. Thanks to membership, Urban. Jesus Christ. That's super sweet. Thanks, Wart. Should have used a reputable name like Boeing. Yeah, for our esports organization. Boeing Esports. What does it violate? It doesn't violate anything. Like I said in the video, it comes down to individuals. And the individuals have all of the say-so. So if there's anything they don't like or anything that smells fishy to them, they can just fully, with their own power, say no. So they speculated that the name, since the word moist is so off-putting to so many people, could legitimately be a deterrent. That they're not taking it seriously as like an international thing, regardless of our results, that it is some kind of sham to get them here for some nefarious reason or whatever. And that could legitimately be playing a role in why we're declined and still struggling. Thanks to the Anonymous 5 gift subs and the resub bunter. So it was your fault. Unintentionally, yeah. Like, moist is not a bad word. In fact, Moist is one of the largest brands of shampoo. Well, it's not one of the largest. But, like, that Aussie Moist whatever, like, that's a huge brand. Like, I just... It's not a bad word. And no, I don't think so, Frenchie. Thanks to the membership, Maxwell. So what do we name ourselves now? Well, we can't just change the name like that. We've got too many moving parts to just do that willy-nilly. We have a lot of options moving forward, though. It's just a massive fucking headache with this immigration stuff. Thanks to Prime Pixel. The tier 1 woot. Yep, I've only caught like the bare basics of it though, Peachy. Thanks, Math. I know. Like I said, even if we're rejected again, there is... Well, actually, if we get rejected again after the RFE, then that means we're going to have to do something pretty drastic, unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. Just a massive, expensive, tedious headache. Thanks to the gift sub, Caesar. I'm really fucking sorry to hear that, Damien. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm wishing you and yours the absolute best moving forward. Stay strong, Jacob. Thanks for some Sharky and Blunder and the membership, Miles. And this is the first I've heard of that mercenary. And thanks, Urban. Of course.